Alrighty, folks, we're 2-0 in our last couple of board member plays on my premium site. And the good news is I have another board member tier package play going off here today. And if you sign up for that membership here today on my premium site, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, guys, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. Now, if you don't need all of those premium plays every day, but maybe you could use one, you may want to think about signing up for my $1.99 daily best play. It costs just $1.99 for 30 days of service. And you actually get access to my daily best play every single day for the next 30 days. The math works out to be just like 6 cents a day. I currently have over 580 members. We're signed up and active on my premium site right now. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to start off with the Astros at the Marlins, 6:40 p.m. East. Houston's $1.40, total 7.5. Framber Valdez for Houston, Braxton Garrett for Miami. And even though Garrett's been solid for most of the year, we have seen his ERA creep up into the fours. Now, the Marlins they have issues at times getting on the scoreboard. They're actually in the bottom 5 right now in the majors in runs per game. Of course, they're facing lefty Framber Valdez, so we could see some more of that today. Valdez, very difficult to hit against. The lefty's got 144 strikeouts and a 1.09 whip. And of course, this Houston lineup of batters, they love hitting on the road. They're actually in the top 5 in the American League in run production while traveling. Kyle Tucker's the club leader in hits. He also has the 4th most RBI in the majors. Meanwhile, Jose Altuve is batting .314 with an OPS in the 900s. Now, injury-wise, Jose Abreu's out of the lineup for Houston. Jorge Soler is questionable for Miami. 7 out of the Marlins' last 10 outings did stay under the total. Meanwhile, Houston went 4-3 to the under in their last 7 on the road. Give me Houston minus $1.40, under 7.5. Next matchup, Pirates-Mets, 7:10 p.m. East. Now, this game's currently off the board. Carlos Carrasco, possible for New York. Quinn Priester, probable for Pittsburgh. And if Priester does get the nod here today, things haven't been great for him. Through just 23-plus innings this year, the righty Quinn Priester has got himself an ERA close to 9. And even if he does throw well here today, the Buccos probably won't get him the run support he needs. They're averaging only 7.7 hits a game in their travels. Now they are facing a Mets club who still has a winning record at home despite how bad they've been this year. And in their last 10 meetings with Pittsburgh, the Mets have had little problems at the plate. They've done a nice job. They're averaging over 5.2 runs a game during that time frame. Brendan Nimmo leads the roster in hits. Pete Alonso's in the top 5 in the majors in both home runs and runs batted in. Starling Marte is out for the Mets. Ji-Hwan Bae inactive for the Pirates. Give me the Mets getting the job done for some money line cash. Next ball game, Yankees-Braves, 7:20 p.m. East. Atlanta's minus 230, totals 9 runs. Max Fried for Atlanta, Clark Schmidt for New York. Now, Schmidt's got 8 wins on the year and 110 strikeouts. And as bad as the Yankees have been recently, they do love winning for starting pitcher Clark Schmidt. They actually got the W in their last 7 straight ball games where Schmidt threw out the first pitch. They're averaging over 6.8 runs a game in those contests I just mentioned. Aaron Judge is the club leader in home runs, OPS in the thousands for Judge. Meanwhile, Gleyber Torres is the team leader in hits. Now they're facing an Atlanta club who's actually having some difficulty cashing in on the run line here recently. The Braves failed to cover in 6 out of their last 10 ball games. They also may have to go to work here today without the services of Ozzie Albies. The second baseman is currently battling a hamstring injury, so keep an eye on him. Now, when it comes to historical trends, the Braves had a tough time with these Yankee pitchers in recent gatherings. They actually averaged under 3.4 runs a game in their last 10 meetings with the Pinstripers. So if you're into historical trends, certainly want to think about that one there. And once again, Ozzy Albies is questionable to suit up here today. Now, on the other side of things, DJ LeMahieu's questionable for the Yankees. The over did cash him 4 out of Clark Schmidt's last 7 starts. Meanwhile, Atlanta went 8-2 to the over in their last 10 themselves. Give me the Yankees plus 1.5 over 9. Next matchup I have for you, it is going to be A's at the Cardinals, 7:45 East. St. Louis is minus 210, totals 8.5. Miles Michaelis for St. Louis, J.P. Sears for Oakland. Now, the A's continue to lose for Sears. The lefty's just 2-9 through 125 innings of work this year. He's got an ERA in the 4s. Now, the A's still have the worst record in baseball, and they score the fewest amount of runs. Now, they're facing righty Miles Michaelis, who's just 1 strikeout shy of the century mark for the season. He also comes into today's start with a 1.28 whip. And even if Michaelis does struggle here today, the Cards love hitting the baseball at Busch Stadium. These guys are in the top 5 in hits per game at home. Nolan Arenado's the club leader in hits, 8th in the big leagues in RBI. Meanwhile, Paul Goldschmidt, he is the team leader in runs scored. Carlson and Donovan are still out for St. Louis. Perez and Noda inactive for Oakland. The A's did see 4 out of their last 5 on the road get over the total. They're also 4-1 to the over in their last 5 J.P. Sears starts. Give me St. Louis minus 1.5 over 8.5 runs. Next ball game, Angels Rangers, 8:05 Eastern first pitch. Texas is minus $1.75 at home, totals 9. Max Scherzer for the Rangers, Patty Sandoval for Los Angeles. Now, Sandoval is just 6-8 on the season with a 1.37 whip. And out of Sandoval's last 13 starts, the Angels picked up the outright W only 3 times, actually striking out over 9.2 times a game at the plate. They're facing a Texas club who's got 40 wins already at Globe Life Field this year, and much of that is due to some really good plate appearances. The Rangers are averaging over 6.1 runs a game in their own building. Adolis Garcia's got the 3rd most RBI in the majors, 7th most home runs. Corey Seager's batting .348 with an OPS in the thousands. Young and Jankowski are out for Texas. Trout, Rendon, and Neto still inactive for the Angels. And when it comes to the total, LA went 60% to the over in their last 10 ball games. They're also 12-5 to the over in their divisional road games. Now, the Texas Rangers on the other side, they went 10-4 to the over against the AL West in their own ballpark. Could be Texas minus 175 over 9. Next matchup, Mariners Royals, 8:10 p.m. East. Seattle's $1.45, totals 8.5. Logan Gilbert for Seattle, Brady Singer for Kansas City. And even though he doesn't have a losing record, starting pitcher Brady Singer has allowed his fair share of runs. The righty's got an ERA in the 5s along with a 1.37 whip. Now, the Royals are also scoring fewer runs per contest than any other club in the AL Central. They're facing 10-win Logan Gilbert, who's got a 138 strikeouts and an ERA in the 3s. Now, these Seattle pitchers as a whole, they've actually thrown really well away from home this year. They're walking fewer batters per 9 on the road than any other pitching staff in the majors. Great location out of these guys. When it comes to offensive production, Seattle's actually done a real nice job at the dish when they face Kansas City. They're actually averaging 5.9 runs a game in their last 10 meetings with KC. Julio Rodriguez leads the roster in hits. Eugenio Suarez, he's got a club best 73 RBI. Now, J.B. Crawford is still out for Seattle. Jared Kelenic still on the IL. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Michael Garcia is questionable for KC. The Royals went 6-1 to the over in their last 7 Brady Singer starts. The Royals also went 60% to the over in their last 10. Give me Seattle minus $1.45 over 8.5. Next matchup, D-backs Rockies, 8:40 p.m. East. Arizona's minus 235 on the road, totals 12.5. Merrill Kelly for Arizona, Chris Flexen for Colorado. And as bad as Flexen's been, well, the Rockies do stand a chance here today, being at Coors Field. And the reason for that is they are actually a top 5 hit producing team at home in the National League. Zeke Tovar is the club leader in hits. Ryan McMahon has the most RBI and runs scored. They're facing an Arizona team who lost 9 out of their last 11. And they have a losing record against divisional opponents on the road. And even though Kelly's thrown well this year, Arizona did take the loss in 5 out of their last 7 Merrill Kelly starts. Longoria is still out for the D-backs. Jerks and Profar questionable for Colorado. The overcashed in every single one of Chris Flexen's starts this year. The Rockies also averaged 5 runs a game in their last 10 meetings with Arizona. Give me Colorado plus 1.5 over 12 and a hook. All right, next ball game. O's Pods, 9:40 p.m. East. San Diego's minus $1.35 at home. Totals 8 runs. Yu Darvish for San Diego. Grayson Rodriguez for Baltimore. And even though Gray Rod hasn't been great, he does have 80 strikeouts in just 74 innings. Now, these Baltimore sluggers also love hitting the baseball on the road. They're in the top 3 in the American League in run production while traveling. Adley Rutschman's the club leader in hits. Gunnar Henderson's the team leader in runs scored. They're facing Yu Darvish, who's no stranger to allowing earned runs. The righty has an ERA in the 4s right now. Meanwhile, as a team, the Pods lost 6 out of their last 7, and they had all kinds of issues at the plate. The Pods are currently 60% to the under in their interleague home games. Meanwhile, Baltimore's 11-6 to the under in their interleague road games. Give me Baltimore plus $1.15, under 8. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. It's going to be in that Rays-Giants game, 9:45 East. Tampa Bay's $1.40, totals 8 runs. Tyler Glasnow for Tampa Bay, Ryan Walker for San Francisco. And even though Walker's been good this year, the Giants have struggled as a team recently. They took the loss in 6 out of their last 8. They've also had a tough time producing runs at Chase Field. They're scoring a National League worst 3.8 runs a game on their own field. They're taking on Tyler Glasnow, who's been a real big strikeout guy. The righties fan 96 batters in just 68 plus. He's also got an ERA in the low 3s along with a 1.08 whip. And even if for some reason Glasnow struggles here today, the Rays definitely, their hitters have gotten the job done this year. They're a top 3 run-producing lineup in the American League. Yandy Diaz has the 5th highest batting average in the majors, OPS in the 900s. Meanwhile, Isaac Paredes, he is the team leader in runs batted in. Mejia and Walls are out for Tampa Bay. Pollock and Yastrzemski inactive for the Giants. 4 out of Walker's last 5 starts did fall under the total. The Giants also went 4-1 to the under in their last 5 at Oracle Park. Give me Tampa Bay minus $1.40, under 8. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our quick pick recap. Give me Houston minus 140, under 7.5. New York Mets getting the job done for some money line cash. New York Yankees plus 1.5, over 9. I have packages on my premium page starting at just $1.99 for 30 days of service. The link is in my bio. St. Louis Cardinals minus 1.5, over 8 and a hook. Texas Rangers minus 175, over 9. Seattle Mariners minus 145, over 8.5. Give me the Rockies plus 1.5, over 12 and a hook. Orioles plus $1.15, under 8. With my next and final free pick, give me the Rays minus $1.40, under 8.